decision.
Boom.
Yeah, but let's move on to the main event of the evening. This is why we're here. I'm looking forward to this one easily. We got a bantamweight matchup between Cory Sandhagen, who's coming in at 14-2 and is the minus 180 favorite, and he's going up against TJ the Snake Dillashaw, who is 17-4 and is the plus 155 underdog.
Did you
What do
call
you
him the
see with
snake?
that?
Did you call him the
Yes.
snake? All right, that's not a real nickname, right?
No, that's just my nickname.
All right, yeah, and I got to tell you, that picture, he looks real young in the picture too that you have up. So TJ really is a disappointment for me in my MMA fandom. I won some money off him when he won the title versus who did he win it off of?
Cruz.
No, it wasn't Cruz.
Garbrandt.
No, it wasn't Garbrandt. He won the title off the Brazilian guy who was doing really well at the time. He knocked him out. He was a big underdog. TJ was a plus
wasn't it Renan Barrea?
Renan Barao.
Yeah.
So he went off Renan Barao. He was a big underdog, just so you know, when he came into that fight. And I won money on that because I had faith in TJ then. What really annoys me as a Jersey guy is that, and I was just talking to somebody. I'm doing something. I was talking to somebody online about this, how high his EPO levels are, and you have to wait till I'm done. What I'm disappointed about is he's showing his refrigerator, and in his refrigerator, he's got all these like little containers of like how his diet is and how he's changed his diet. He's just really like lying to me, like to my face, like showing his refrigerator and like showing how he's like changed his ways of how dieting and getting all this oriented. And I feel like I don't like when I saw that kind of stuff. You get popped for performance enhancement, one thing, but like you're like lying to me. I was a fan of his. I really have a hard time even like looking at him now because of how high his EPO levels were. He reminds me of Antonio Margarito from boxing, where his levels are so high, he's trying to hurt a coworker. And like these guys are coworkers, you know what I mean? Like these guys work together. Yes, Derek Lewis isn't going to be pulled off of Curtis Blades until the ref stumps in because that's his job, even though he could hurt Curtis, right? But like when you like wrap your gloves in cement or take that level of EPO, you're not masking another drug like a recreational drug. You're like on EPO to the gills. I feel like you're really trying to hurt your opponent, who is your coworker. So I don't have a lot of even if it's Henry Cejudo, by the way. I don't really have a lot of patience for the Snake Dillashaw. That being said, Cory did knee my Jersey man Frankie Edgar's head into orbit. I'm hoping Sandhagen will do that to Dillashaw. Dillashaw is similar size to Edgar. He's like he's not tall, he's not large. I guess he's a little taller than Frankie, but I'm hoping Sandhagen does the same thing. This is a strength that I don't like TJ. I can never forgive him for his EPO. Even if he wins this fight, I'm not going to be a TJ fan. I'll never bet on him. I'll never say much positive about him. I don't like him. So Sandhagen is a minus 190 from DraftKings this morning. I have him knocking out Dillashaw in the second, and I do think that when these guys come off EPO, when USADA first came in, D-Bake, a lot of the Brazilians were on it, and there was Americans too, but the Brazilians almost didn't know how to fight without having it. They had to like refine themselves, and only a couple were able to do it. RDA, I think, I never popped for it, but like a lot of those Brazilians, like this is part of their stuff. And I feel like Dillashaw, we're going to see what he's really about, and I hope he's about getting his head knocked off. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, but first, I got Cory Sandhagen. He has been very active in the last couple of years. He likes to switch his stances often to give you several looks, and he uses a lot of feints. He always fights on the front foot and throws a jab to keep the opponents on their back foot. He mixes strikes up every fight so he doesn't repeat the same pattern, and he attacks all levels of your body. He tends to leave his hands low, but he has great vision. Sandhagen likes to fight on the outside and throw lower calf kicks. He tends to back up in the straight line when being pushed back, so that's something that he needs to not do in this fight. It could be something that affects him more negative than positive. He doesn't have good takedown defense on paper, but uses scrambles as a way to avoid them and then to get back up if he gets taken down. And he is usually out in the open when he does that. He has good cardio vision and footwork, but then his chin is decent and his striking defense is really good for his height. You get these guys that are big, but then they are very susceptible to knockouts because of it, because people can game plan a certain way to hit their chin, but he's not one of those guys. Then you got TJ Dillashaw. He's coming in. This is his first fight coming back from the suspension. He likes to move around a lot, uses a lot of feints and switches stances from time to time, but it's more of not just very often, it's certain situations. He has a good tendency to drag fighters into his game plan. He slows the pace down and uses more technique. He does most of his work in the pocket and looks for the counter too. He goes for odd entries to get into the pocket and throw his head kick and counters. He uses the switch stance, like I said before, to help close distance and then use body kicks right away when close. His striking defense is really good. He uses a wide base while fighting and tends to eat too many kicks. He has a habit of being open for takedowns when he throws his naked kicks. And then TJ likes to change levels on takedowns and go for reactive doubles. He's a hard fighter to keep on the mat, and he has work to do on top guard where he only goes for ground and pound. But then he has a great IQ, great instinct, and good cardio. In this matchup, though, like this was kind of tough for me at first because even through all that TJ Dillashaw has done, like with the steroids and how is he going to be, he still has the traits of being a good fighter. He has the cardio, the speed, is the strength. He has it all. But in this matchup, it's going to be tough because Sandhagen has the height and he knows how to use it.
Yeah.
And then he's just tough as nails. He takes everything. The one weakness that I think Sandhagen have is he always leaves his back available. That's how Sterling beat him, was he was able to get to his back and then submit him. But before that, Sandhagen was looking pretty good against him. He came back. He freaking pieced up Edgar with that knee, and then he has looked good just in general. I think one thing Sandhagen does have to watch out for is when, like I said, when he's moving backwards. Maybe this is the fight we see TJ Dillashaw use the takedowns. Because when he moves back, he could be taken down.
Yeah.
And that would be a weakness for Sandhagen. But I think just at the end of the day, it's like with just the craziness of stuff that he puts out, and he never repeats what he does. It's going to be hard for me to go against Sandhagen in this matchup. But I think because he's active, and we don't know how Dillashaw is since the suspension, and this is going to be his first fight back. And there's going to be a lot of uncertainty with him. So, like for me, I'm going to round 4 knockout by Sandhagen. I think he's going to be able to just do a lot of damage. He's going to attack the whole body. He's going to pressure forward onto Dillashaw. And then at times, he's going to just use his length. He's going to use his length, hit him from a distance. And then the big thing I like is he was talking about when he gets into like this wide stance, Dillashaw. If he does that a lot, it's going to be a lot of leg kicks by Sandhagen. He's just going to hit those legs and try and slow him down. It's just a lot of different things that Sandhagen can bring to the table that we don't know how TJ Dillashaw is going to be now that he's not on the juice now.
Right.
So
if TJ does win this one again, this is not a bone thrown again to somebody. Like Sandhagen is dynamic. His angles are really good. The only saving thing for TJ is like I was thinking about him versus Edgar, but Edgar is a small, like short armed fighter. Like TJ has long arms. Like TJ fights longer than he's built. So he has like a freakish like length to him. So that could save him a bit versus Sandhagen. But I hope it goes how you're saying. A lot of damage, and then the 4th round. You know, the game has evolved since the 2 years he's been out, and the guys like Sandhagen maybe are the evolution. So I'm hoping you're right, and a 4th round stoppage would be even sweeter than a 2nd round stoppage, because that means TJ the Snake would be getting beat up pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. And then for Sandhagen, like he just has to be like, okay, keep the distance, and then I can pick my times to go in and attack him, because that's basically what Dillashaw is going to do. He's going to try and pinpoint when he can get inside, and then
Right.
attack him. But that's the thing that Sandhagen's really good defending against, and I think just use that height, use the legs, and then go inside and then just beat him up, and then he should be able to do that. But if you want to get if you feel like TJ Dillashaw will win, like one thing I would think of is look into like a late submission by Dillashaw. I would look into that, like a win for Dillashaw by submission off the back.
I wonder what's the spread. What's the spread on Dillashaw by submission? Because that could be some money in that if you're willing to make money off TJ, which hey, maybe eventually I'll get to the point where I'm okay with making money off TJ.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Got a long way to go.
But that's a thing to keep like a mind off. But like just like you said, we're going by like a knockout by Sandhagen. That would be like the top there. Then it would be Dillashaw by submission if you're just not confident in Sandhagen, which I wouldn't know why, but some people are confident in him, and then I would tell them shoot for Dillashaw by submission, because that's the back is a weakness for our guy Cory Sandhagen.
Right.
But that will wrap up this preview of UFC